Happy holidays, gang. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, gang, and welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, shockingly enough, thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So welcome aboard, everyone. Maybe some of you for the second time. It is Thursday, December 11th, 2025. This is live stream 1267. If you're not overly familiar with the show, let me point out it's super casual. We just hang out talking about the latest in tabletop role-playing game news for the most part. We'll talk a little board game stuff from time to time. And on most episodes, we'll actually take a first look at a role-playing game release, which is what we're doing tonight. We're going to dive on in and take a peek at CBR+PNK Augmented. I would just call this cyberpunk augmented, but I never hear anybody call this cyberpunk or cyber plus punk. It's always CBR+PNK. So we'll see how long that lasts, me calling it CBR+PNK Augmented. It is from our friends over at MythWorks. So that's what we'll be taking a peek at tonight. Yay. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more you are not going to find here on YouTube. You know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. And then lastly, this is a live show. So if you are watching live, there is chat available. Now, of course, you must be a subscriber to the channel for at least an hour. As I've pointed out just a few moments ago, that feels like half of a lifetime for some folks out there. That's what happens when you live your life through TikTok 30-second videos. You have no patience for anything. That's why I don't. So I've got patience, at least a little bit. Anyway, if you check out that box and you've been a subscriber for at least an hour and you want to say howdy, maybe you got a question, a comment, by all means, chime in. I will do my absolute best to respond. First out the gate tonight is Semper Buffo. The Madman is with us, one of our chat moderators. Genuine Maddie C. Kevin R. Smith. W. Forge. B. Horn 14 is joining us again, as is Pete Strakulich. And I'll take a guess, maybe the lovely and talented Miss Sarah D. is with us as well. So should mention, this is take two. We were dropping tons of frames. Let's take a look. Knock on wood. No drop frames at all. But it does look like the stream is a little jumpy as far as its kilobits per second, but that's okay. So I did swap over to the backup stream server. So maybe that is going to help us out a little bit. I don't know. I don't know for sure. But now that previous URL I had given out for the live show is kaput. I tell you. I got to be honest. I think the issue was YouTube. I don't know about you folks out there, but YouTube has been really slow for me over the past, gotta be almost a month. It takes forever to load stuff up. And then, you're always getting stuff where it's like, oh, experiencing interruptions. And it's like, yeah, because you suck. It's like, I'll go do like a test. I'll be like, oh, hey, we're downloading at 400 kilobits per second, or I should say megabits per second. And it's like, you can't even get me a 720 stream. Pete Strackwood says they just read Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep. Fucking epic. Ready to run a 6 Shadowrun adventure, but I'd like to use Everyday Heroes for it. I think Pete Strackwood in the previous chat had mentioned that they had just finished Neuromancer. William Gibson. Yes. They're always kicking around that, oh, they're going to make a movie of it. They're going to make a movie of it. They're going to make a series of it. I know. I'm kind of surprised that they've, and now once again, I heard that, there's rumblings that they're going to actually make like a streaming series out of it. W. Ford says Jeff should sit in silence for a moment just to punk the audience. You mean something like that? Alrighty, let's jump on into the news because the latest adventure for Dolmen Wood has arrived. I've got the latest from Necrotic Gnome and Exalted Funeral. The market town of Lankshorn is abuzz with excitement after the cruel Lord Melbleet announces a festival honoring his sorceress ancestor. Only when the young singer Imelda, famed for her beautiful voice, is reported missing, do things take a sinister turn. Could this be the work of the sinister Droon who lurk under the eaves of the wood just north of Lankshorn? Or are the bogies that inhabit the old barrow mounds to the southeast taking prisoners for the Goblin King? The market town of Lankshorn is wondering what could have taken place. Your heroes will find out in Imelda's song for Dolmen Wood. This 36-page A5 soft cover. It's zine size as far as you can tell. Basically, that's what A5 is. It does carry an MSRP of $15. I don't see anything indicating that the PDF comes with that. Although, already pointed out on last night's show that Exalted Funeral is sending along, I think it's the 4 available Dolmen Wood adventures, including Imelda's song and the miniatures. And I do have access to the PDF because that's how you got these images. I don't know, maybe for $15, you also get the PDF along with the zine. Now, if you just want the PDF, you can certainly grab that over at DriveThruRPG for $10. And it looks as if DriveThruRPG is still providing Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Black Monday. Yeah, Black Tuesday. Yeah, Black Tuesday pricing. Stock markets crash. Buy as many RPG PDFs as you possibly can. Uh-huh. It did look like DriveThruRPG is still set with the Black Friday, Cyber Monday pricing and some other stuff too. In fact, there's a role-playing game from, I want to say it's Onyx Path Publishing, that is going away at the end of the month. And it's like your last chance to get your hands on it. And it's a game I've heard of, but I don't really know much about. But yeah, I noticed that's up on DriveThruRPG as well. Very cool. Very cool. Kevin R. Smith says they haven't read Neuromancer, but would 80s style cyberpunk even make sense to a modern audience? I think so. I think it would because, funny enough, well, okay. I think it would depending on who you're actually reading. Now, I'll be the first to point out that it's not like I am well-versed with every, well-known cyberpunk author that was out there. But like Bruce Sterling, William Gibson, so Walter John, I can't remember his last name. Anderson, something like that. And those stories I think would hold up really well because there is also elements of environmental deterioration. Yeah, climate change. So yeah, I would think some of it would. I would also think some of the Walter John Williams. Thank you, Kevin R. Smith. That's it. I would think that a lot of that would still resonate. Then again, maybe not. Maybe not. I mean, if it's not, like Cyberpunk 2077 Edge Runners, it's like doesn't count. I'm sure that's how some people probably look at Cyberpunk. Moving on to our next news piece. Pre-orders have begun for the Warhammer 40,000 Imperium Maledictum Adeptus Mechanicus Player's Guide. Say that 5 times fast. In fact, I even left out the role play, where it's Warhammer 40,000 role play. Just imagine saying that 5 times fast if you included that. Regardless, here's a skinny from Cubicle 7 Games. Cast off your weak flesh and accept the glory of the machine god. The Imperium would not stand without the priesthood of Mars. From smog-choked forge worlds to the bowels of every void ship and heart of every hive city, tech adepts work with tireless reverence and zeal to maintain the function and secrets of the Imperium's technology. As acts of worship, they routinely replace what they see as fallible flesh with bizarre mechanical augmentation, seeing it as a way to move closer to the machine god and toward perfection. Brand new way to experience Imperium Maledictum. Delve into the Adeptus Mechanicus in its most comprehensive tabletop role-playing experience yet. The Adeptus Mechanicus guides bring the servants of the Omnissiah to life at your gaming table. This first half of an electrifying 2-book set for Warhammer 40,000 Roleplay Imperium Maledictum Adeptus Mechanicus Player's Guide enables players to build Omnissiah devoted patrons and a unique roster of tech adepts to serve them. The Priesthood of Mars. Build unique patrons drawn from across the Adeptus Mechanicus hierarchy. Create a wide variety of tech adept characters to start your adventures. There's Forge World's Bounty. Outfit your characters with an arsenal of iconic Adeptus Mechanicus equipment, weapons, armor, augmetics, vehicles, and tech familiars. Benheric Rights. Expanded rule skills and talents for characters to wield while interacting with technology. Conduct the correct rites and rituals to gain the Omnissiah's blessing or tempt corruption from tech heresy. The Adeptus Mechanicus Player's Guide does require the Imperium Maledictum core rulebook in order to use. It brings the focus in on Adeptus Mechanicus adventures, adding new elements to your ongoing campaign or setting you up for brand new adventure. The Adeptus Mechanicus GM's Guide completes the 2-book set, the perfect addition for a GM looking to create the ultimate Adeptus Mechanicus campaign. You can pre-order the 160-page hardcover Player's Guide, which will include the PDF, and you will receive the PDF right away, for an MSRP of $44.99. It's expected to arrive in print in the second quarter of 2026. The PDF is out now over at DriveThruRPG for $24.99. I will point out that until I started playing Rogue Trader, the Owlcat Games computer role-playing game, I did not know a ton about the Adeptus Mechanicus. Okay, so I knew that they were from Mars. They were a Mars colony, and they really bailed out the Emperor in the early days. But outside of that, I didn't really know that much. But yeah, kind of cool now that we're receiving the Adeptus Mechanicus Player's Guide and GM book. Wonder what else for Warhammer 40K roleplay Imperium Maledictum Cubicle 7 Games has up their sleeves. All right, we got a few more people popping on into chat. We got Kenny Rodriguez. I see that Kevin King has returned, has found us once again. Lord Cost 2000 is also in chat with us. I think I've said hello to everyone. And of course, Miss Sarah D is hanging with the gang, lurking in the shadows. She is another of our chat moderators. So both of our chat moderators are with us tonight. Very cool. All right. So let's move along and talk about saving you some money. And I'm talking saving you lots of money, because Paizo Inc. and Humble Bundle are offering the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Holiday Haul. And I got the deets on the deal. A holiday haul of fantasy adventures. A vast world of adventure and danger awaits. The only piece missing is your heroism. Gather your party of friends turned trusty companions for countless adventures with the latest Pathfinder 2nd Edition bundle from Paizo Inc., filled with epic new campaigns like Pathfinder Rage of Elements and Pathfinder Adventure Path Pact Breaker. Plus, the first 2,500 purchasers will receive Pathfinder Elemental Stones, which is a board game. Get everything you need to embark on an epic high fantasy journey together and help support comic books for kids. Now, you can jump aboard for only $5. If you want to go all in and get the entire collection of 34 PDFs, you can do so for a minimum donation of $30. If you do want to get the copy of Pathfinder Elemental Stones, it is a minimum donation of, I believe it was $35. If it's not $35, then it's $40. But I do think it's $35. I will be very honest with you. Pathfinder Elemental Stones is an abstract game. It is really almost themeless. I believe that it is being thrown into this bundle because I want to say Paizo Inc. has a shitload of copies on their hands. I don't believe it went over too well. But that's another story. This is one of those Pathfinder deals. If you are kicking around, getting into Pathfinder, if you're one of these people who've been like, you know what, I would like to check Pathfinder out, but yeah, don't want to be spending the dough. This is one of those deals. We usually see something like this once every 6 months or so from Paizo Inc. by way of Humble Bundle. And to my knowledge, this is the first time that they are including the revised editions. So if you notice in the upper right corner of the books, now they're the core books. So the player core, GM core, monster core, rather than having that gold, it's green. So that indicates that it is revised edition. I gotta say, smoking deal. to grab this. Bunch of adventures, bunch of lore books, option books, and so forth. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. $30. All the PDFs. It's a sweet, sweet deal. Pete Stracklich is asking, is anyone using Shadow Finder? It's the entire Pathfinder bestiary converted to Shadow Dark. Kevin R. Smith says they backed the Kickstarter. It's actually in playtesting right now. Not sure if the public can access the beta file. So it must be over 500 pages. I don't know. The monster core is a decent size. I think it's over 300 pages. Don't know. That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool. I like the Pathfinder monsters. So Kevin R. Smith says, oops, the best series out. The player's book is what's in playtest right now. So it's looking to convert Pathfinder over to Shadow Dark. I almost said Shadowrun. Yeah, that's what it is, Jeff. Pathfinder for Shadowrun, dummy. Slap. Now available in print and PDF from Black Book Editions is Cats, the Conspiracy. Here's what I know. For millennia, the Earth has carried a fiercely guarded secret. Human beings are not the only intelligent species roaming its surface. Moreover, not only is it not the only one, it's neither the first nor the brightest, because that place belongs to cats. Forget everything you've learned in history books and think you know about cats. Discover the greatest secret of all. Cats, the Conspiracy, is a complete tabletop role-playing game. You play awakened cats with great psychic powers whose ancestors created mankind. I thought that was a great old ones, not cats. And your mission is protect the Conspiracy. The veil casts over a human reality in order to make them think cats are only pets. To play, you'll only need the book and a few sheets of paper, pencils, and 5 10-sided dice. The book contains a short story introducing the setting of Cats, the Conspiracy, all the rules you need to play, including character creation, with 16 breeds of cats, as well as humans and bastets, the spirit of a cat trapped forever in a human body. A description of the various feline organizations, factions, and lineages, 3 councils, Paris, Plymouth, and Los Angeles, who may employ the characters, an overview of the cat lifestyle and the history of cat civilization, a collection of antagonists and adversaries, tips for playing as cats and having fun playing as cats, as well as 8 standalone adventures. The 298-page hardcover carries an MSRP of $49.99. If you want to grab just the PDF, you can do so over at DriveThruRPG for $29. I will say, I believe this is available through Studio 2, and I don't think the hardcover comes with a PDF. So there you have it. Kevin R. King says, crossover potential with Mouse Ritter, or as I like to refer to it, Mouse Ritter! Been a while since I've done that. Kevin R. Smith says that Shadowfinder converts Pathfinder First Edition to Shadow Dark. I would say, reality-wise, it's not that huge difference. It's really the mechanics that have changed from Second Edition Pathfinder compared to First Edition Pathfinder. Because, the 3-action economy and such. The fluff of the history and all that other stuff. Granted, Second Edition does move forward. What is it? 300 years? Something like, I think it's like 300 years. But, the goblins are the same, the same wacky, crazy, I really dig the Pathfinder goblins. Just like I dig the Kobold Press kobolds. W. Forge says Magical Kitties has some competition. Yes, yesterday I was talking about the bundle of holding for Magical Kitties Save the Day. There we go. Kevin R. Smith says the designers said that they picked first edition Pathfinder mostly because it's a finished product that isn't being added to. Well, the reality is it's a dead product. It's, it's finished. I guess I shouldn't say that. I'm sure there are people out there who are still producing third-party content for Pathfinder First Edition. So there is that. Kathy Evans is with us in chat. Welcome back. Good to see you. All right, so let's finish up with the final news piece, because the Adventurer Conqueror King System Imperial Imprint Treasure Tome, it's another one you can try saying 5 times fast, is available in PDF. Here's a rundown from Autarch LLC. Enter a world where empires stand on the brink of war and terrible monsters tear at the fragile boundaries of men, where decaying cities teem with chaos and corruption, weeping innocents are sacrificed to chthonic cults, and nobles live in decadent pleasure while the realm burns, where heroes, wizards, and rogues risk everything in pursuit of glory, fortune, and power. This is a world where adventurers can become conquerors, and conquerors can become kings. The axe, it's actually, funny enough, it's Axe II. You could call it Axe 2, right? So it's looks like it's the the Roman numerals for 2. But if you stop and think about it, it's the Imperial imprint. So that's where we get the Axe II. Kind of wild. This is the 4th volume in the Adventurer Conqueror King System Imperial imprint. Within its pages, you'll find treasures that tempt your players into reckless deeds, saintly relics that reward their heroics, cursed contraptions that exploit their vices, and awe-inspiring artifacts that empower them to reshape the game world. Designed as a source book for judges, it contains a comprehensive compendium of over 1,300 new magic items, meticulously designed and lavishly detailed. A customizable treasure placement system that lets you fine-tune the flow of treasure from gritty to heroic levels. A robust item creation system capable of crafting anything and everything, from simple scrolls to awe-inspiring artifacts. A dynamic weapon development mechanic, enabling adventurers to transform personal weapons into legendary arms. A procedural generator to catalyze your creativity with infinite items on demand. There is a potion miscibility. That's not a word that I'm familiar with, I have to admit. A curse and corruption mechanic, and more. Never before has there been a source book that combines the extravagance and imagination of the earliest old school fantasy with the coherence, detail, and structure found in Axe II. The treasure tome is not merely a book. It is a treasure chest for adventurers, conquerors, and kings alive, ready for you to open. The 346-page PDF is available over at DriveThruRPG for $20. I will say I don't know if this is actually going to arrive in print, weirdly enough, because as far as I can tell, it's only the 3 core books that are out in print. I don't know. Keith was talking about High Gygaxian. It's the ability of potions to be mixed together. Miscibility. I guess that would be it. Missability. Mississippi ability. Isn't that a river? I live in a van down by the river. All right, that is it for the news tonight. Of course, I've mentioned DriveThruRPG a few times. Don't forget, the gaming gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to go visit DriveThruRPG, Storyteller's Vault, Dungeon Masters Guild, Wargame Vault, any of the multitude of One Bookshelf sites, stop by thegaminggang.com first, click on one of our banners. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, I get a small portion of that sale. And of course, it keeps thegaminggang.com alive. It's 5%. It's a 5% commission. So there you have it. Full transparency. Of course, if you like the video, give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't. Give that a shot. I know, some people just pop in and watch the video. Hey, I should also mention, if you are watching on a mobile device, you should have the ability to hype the channel. So if you like the Gaming Gang and you're watching on a mobile device, and you have the little hype button, and you still have some hype points left, sprinkle a few, throw a few around here. Anyway, if you dig the channel, if you find it useful, if you find it to be a valuable resource, hell, if you just like what we do, you got a couple of other ways that you can help support the outlet. And first, you can make a one-time donation by way of PayPal. Hell, you can buy me a 2-liter bottle of soda. That's refreshing. And you can do that over at PayPal. You can make a one-time donation. And you can also become a monthly member of our Patreon. You'll find links in the show notes to do so. Also, in those show notes, you'll find an invite link to our Discord server. So be sure to head on over there. It's absolutely free. So be sure to hang with the gang over on Discord. Yay. Crappy day today. Just all around. Still have not figured out what the problem is with the SUV. So we actually had one of those, well, what do they call them? ODM2 or whatever devices you plug in. So it gives you the computer codes of what's wrong. Of course, it says nothing. Comes back, and I don't know. It's fixed, FIXD, which my dad purchased a few years ago, probably 4 or 5 years ago. Never really used. So it's Bluetooth. Run it. So yeah, okay, nothing. It's like, thanks a lot. Says, no problems. I'm like, really? Well, I think it would start then, right? It cranks, just doesn't start. And of course, looking online, there have got to be 50 to 60 things it could be. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then my dad wasn't feeling too hot. He was getting dizzy and he was losing his balance. And like, yeah. It's all fun. It's all fun and games. Till somebody gets their eye poked out. So anyway. So yeah, just thought I'd give folks the heads up if you were curious. Hey, did you get the Subaru Forester running? Nope. Nope. And, as I had pointed out to my dad, I am not going to allow this vehicle to give me a heart attack. Like, I am just, checking things. I'm not freaking out. Like, okay. All right, so I'm trying this. Isn't that? So I got a checklist we're going down. Watch it. It's something like the timing belt broke, which would a timing belt just break after you pulled in to the garage and you had absolutely no issues with it while you were driving? 'Cause I've had timing belts break, and there were indications something was wrong beforehand. Now, maybe not a long time beforehand. There were. Dusty Trekkie has joined us in chat as well. Very nice. Good to see you too. Hey, also should mention we're 2 weeks away from Christmas. 2 weeks from today. So what'd you get me? I have most of my Christmas shopping done. All I have to do is go, because I do like goodie bags that I give with the presents. So depending on how large the presents are, determines how big the bag is. So if you're getting a gift card, because, some people, I just give them gift cards because they never can tell me what they might want. And I pride myself in actually trying to get people gifts that they're going to enjoy and they might be pleasantly surprised by. I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, well, everybody gets a Walmart gift card. Hey, I'm not complaining when I get a Walmart gift card, but there wasn't a whole lot of thought that went into the Walmart gift card. Anyway, so I got most of my shopping done. All you got to do is go over to the dollar store and pick up candy to throw in the bags and get my cards, and that will be it. Very, very nice. All right. So tonight we are going to take a peek at CBR+PNK Augmented. We're going to do that in just a few moments. Before we do, I do want to give a shout out to all of our Patreon members, which I do during my live streams. So big thank you to Adrian Carpio, Gustavo Covalho, Herman Lutman, Jason Lawman, Kuval, Kevin R. Smith, Sean O'Donnell, Talzek, Dan Webb, GameCat, Kevin King, Pete Stracklich, RPG Munch, Tessie Trekkie, Tier 2 DM, Agile Monk, and the Madman. Thank you kindly, everybody. It is very much appreciated. All right, so we're going to dive on into that first look in a few moments. But first, I think it's time for a brief intermission.
It's holiday time, and Beauregard cries, "Hey, look, there's a snowman ringing our doorbell." And Elsie says, "That's no snowman. It's Elmer with a surprise. Borden's Eggnog, the extra special holiday drink. Borden's, very big on flavor."
Wow, Borden's Eggnog. Now we can have a party.
Borden's Eggnog is the delicious holiday treat the whole family loves, right from the carton. It's made with lots of eggs, milk, and real sweet cream. Rich and creamy, better than the best milkshake you ever tasted. Borden's, very big on flavor. This is the only time of year you can get it, so ask Mom for Borden's Eggnog today.
So buy Borden's, very big on flavor.
Greetings to Father, who works all year for the family and outdoes himself at this joyous season with lots of surprises for everyone. Greetings to Mother, that miracle worker of the home whose loving effort seems sometimes like magic. And greetings to little brother, usually a terror, but somehow since he visited Santa at the department store, he's not been himself at all. Greetings to Sister, who was so busy decorating the house with mistletoe and then seemed to forget it was there. Greetings to Grandma, Grandpa, and all your uncles and aunts. May you gather round the table for your Christmas feast in the joyous tradition.
And may your celebration be filled with all the good things of life. And may the spirit of peace and happiness, love and good fellowship, which is the true meaning of Christmas, encompass your entire family.
What we want to say is that the management and staff of this theater, all of us, all of you, good luck, good health, good times, and a very Merry Christmas.
Mansion house.
Mansion house.
Mansion house. Say, do you want to hear a terrific conversation?
Yes, and I love you, my darling. Oh, so much. Oh, my sweet. Yes, I will. I'll be thinking of you every moment. You've made me the happiest girl in the world. Goodbye. Goodbye, darling.
Uh-oh, here comes trouble.
Thank you. Hello?
Oh, Bert, this is Maggie.
Well, Maggie, how'd you know I was here?
Oh, a flash just came over the radio. That's all.
Well, that being the case, I will not stand by and see you make a fool of yourself.
You lay off. I know you. I know what a devil you can be. I've seen you in a passion before when your life has been disrupted. Don't you pull any of your tricks on me, because I'm onto every one of them. So lay off. That's my message to you. Big Lord Fauntleroy.
Yes, and that's a very charming little bracelet Mr. Jefferson gave you, isn't it, Maggie, dear? It makes complete sense now. And to think that I nearly... Well, wild horses couldn't get me out of here now, Maggie. And if I were you, I'd hang on to that charming little bracelet, my dear. It'll be something to remember him by.
Bert Jefferson, you're quite a guy.
Say.
Confound it, Jude, when will you learn that I am always kind and courteous? Ah, my beautiful one.
Come to my room in a half hour and bring some rye bread.
Hopefully some of these, at least holiday intermissions, are spurring you into maybe checking out these old forgotten classic films. So the man who came to dinner, Monty Woolley plays, I'm trying to remember if he's like a New York theater critic or something like that. He's like really famous. And he goes to this dinner party and he slips and breaks his hip. And then he ends up staying there, recuperating at this house. And then, of course, he's completely healed. He could easily leave. And he just keeps hanging out there. It's pretty funny. It's pretty good. I mean, it's funny in an old 1940s movie sort of funny. You know, if there's parts of It's a Wonderful Life that make you chuckle, then yes, by all means, check out these movies. But if it's like, well, no, I don't even crack a smile at It's a Wonderful Life, then I'd probably warn you away. Or if you're one of these people like, oh, it's black and white, I don't watch movies in black and white. That's like, oh, okay. W. Ford says Betty Davis was a Susan Sarandon of her day. I don't know if I would want to make that sort of... I don't know if I'd want to shackle Betty Davis with Susan Sarandon and Susan Sarandon with Betty Davis, because Betty Davis was supposed to be very difficult to deal with, not just on movie sets either. So I don't know. I don't know. Reading 8 is with us tonight. Good to see you once again. All right, everybody. So tonight we're going to dive on in. We're going to take a look at CBR plus PNK Augmented from MythWorks. This is a little box set. It carries an MSRP of $29.99. It is available now. So let's swing on over to the other camera, because here I've got CBR plus PNK Augmented. A couple of things mentioned before we dive on in. Tessie Trekkie says we shouldn't shackle anyone to anyone. Well, you know, shackle them with a comparison, tying them together. Like, oh, so-and-so is just like so-and-so. It's like, I don't know about that. Just like Betty Davis was in a hell of a lot more movies than Susan Sarandon ever has been. But that's when they used to crank out, you know, studios used to crank out more than a movie a week in some cases. So, yeah, I'm a big history of Hollywood buff. I like film a bunch. Hey, I should also mention real quick before we dive on into this, I did check out, what is it, the first four episodes of Space 1999. I didn't realize that it was going to be like kind of trippy. I was like, all of a sudden there, you know, weird 60s music starts. I'm like, the hell's going on? I'm expecting, you know, kind of like a rip off of Star Trek. And in some ways, you can see there's some homage to it. But weirdly enough, the show feels, obviously, yes, I know it's a British show. Feels almost like it's got more in common with like Doctor Who than like Star Trek. But yeah, I'll keep watching it. I mean, the acting's awful. Barbara Bain is like, did they bring her back from the dead for this? Because it's like, she is awful in it. Anyway. Kevin R. Smith says they cranked out movies and were able to just assign actors to them. Yes, because at that point in time, you know, actors had contracts with studios, and the studio decided what they were in and what they weren't in. Speaking of Betty Davis, she actually played a big role in breaking that up. So anyway, CBR plus PNK Augmented. Number one, MythWorks was kind enough to provide me with this review copy, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the gaming gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share this first look with you. It's very important you know that. Also, we're not going to look at each and every pamphlet, every, you know, inch of things in here, but I do want to give you a really good feel for what you're going to find inside this box set. Gear Up Runner. CBR plus PNK is a tabletop role-playing game where you play as expert cyberpunk runners, mercs, criminals, activists, making their last run in the shadows of a gritty, ultra-violent world. The game uses a streamlined, forged-in-the-dark system for high-octane one-shot sessions or short campaign arcs in the long-shot mode, all in a portable pamphlet format. And it tells us what is inside. So this is from MythWorks, as well as Cabinet of Curiosities Games. That is not a company I'm familiar with. All right, so it looks as if we need to slip this off. All right, come on. We're not supposed to tear it, are we? No. Can't be. There we go. I was like, wait a second. What's moving here? See, it slides into this, but because this is on here, so you can see like that, right? I was thinking, oh, this slides off it. This is the box. Nope. Yeah, tricky. Tricky. Kevin R. Smith says, having the guy who ruined Star Trek take over doesn't bode well for season 2. Kevin King says it loses the psychedelic for season 2. Then I heard season 2, it gets like kind of goofier. I mean, it's pretty weird already, but I just had it on while I was, doing today's news pieces. So I was like, yeah, that's cool. All right. So this is going to open up, I believe. Yep. There we go. That's kind of wild. It just all folds out. Should I do sound effects? And that's how these are presented. Looks like we got a bunch of them. 6 on each side. Okay, so I think these are the rules, and I think these are pre-generated characters or character sheets. So there you go. That's interesting. I like that. So this almost has, you're going to hear it twice in one show. Ready? Kind of a Masrita vibe to the proceedings, because that's a game where the adventures are adventure locations that fold out. They're just, just little fold outs. And they're, just keyed locales telling you about stuff. So here is CBR+PNK. Here are all the rules. Play to find out what happens. Telegraph trouble before it hits. Establish a threat using tone and hinting at its intent. I thought for a second it said tons. I'm like, tons? It says, follow through with established threats. Do not pull punches. Player characters have plenty of tools at their disposal to deal with adversity. Ask questions to set the stage, to encourage players to express their characters, to bolster the fictional circumstances, to satisfy curiosity, or to bring in the players when you're stuck. So these are protocols for our game master. Provide context. Convey a vibrant world of high-tech and low-life around the player's characters. Present interesting situations, then build upon player choices and cut to the action. So Kevin R. Smith is pointing out this is the GM's guide. Okay. So are the rules inside each of the play? Oh, I bet you that's it. Yep. So this is our player sheets for player fold out. So I see all the rules for the game are in this. That is pretty interesting. And it's also treated, you might be able to use maybe wet erase. Maybe not. I don't know. But I will tell you, these player folios, I guess I would call it, they are treated differently. This has a far more matte finish than that. Nice. Okay, I'll tell you what. We'll come back to the GM. Once again, we're not going to go through everything in here, but so for the player protocols, Tessie Traggy says dry and wet erase. Work on it. Nice. Embrace the cyberpunk life. Go into danger. Fall in love with trouble. Use your stress. Push, assist, resist. Act now. Plan with flashbacks later. Build your character through play. Ask questions when in doubt to bolster the fictional circumstances or just to satisfy your curiosity. Take responsibility as co-author of the game with the game moderator. Play to find out what happens. That was our number 1 rule. So, Kevin R. Smith says, huzzah, someone who's worked with the physical product. They only have PDFs from a bundle of holding. Kevin King points out the portability would be good for road trips. Yeah, I mean, you know, toss that in your glove box, right? Toss in a backpack. Okay, so this is how we break down the character creation. Enter a handle. Enter a few evocative words to describe your look. You risk it all for a reason. What's in it for you? Choose an angle. Detail it briefly. You get to assign 2 positives and looks like individual positives in any order to 3 of your approaches. Distribute 8 dice in your skills to assign an expertise. Spend a 3rd die on a particular skill choice. Write the expertise down aside. Body modifications. Don't pick your gear just yet. You'll decide what you're carrying on the fly during the run. So we have action roll summary. Player describes what they want to accomplish, what approach, skill, and other factor, gear, augment, environmental aspect they will employ to do so. Says there is no wrong approach to a situation. The GM assesses the risk, the threat, and tells you what are the probable consequences if they fail, as well as how much they can accomplish on a success. You can then raise both threat and effort together to improve their effect. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, okay. So both threat and effect, I thought it was effort, to improve their effect at the cost of a worse consequence or vice versa. Gather your dice, number equal to approach plus skill ratings. Add your bonus dice from push and or assist. Should we take a guess? We're using 6-sided dice. Roll all your dice at once. Read the single highest result. Judging the outcome with the table below. Yep. 6-sider. So it says a 6 and a 6. I guess that's like the double positive thing, maybe? I don't know. They succeed and gain extra benefit. 6 is a success. 4 or 5 partial success. 1 to 3 failure. So, of course, right there, you are seeing the influence of Forged in the Dark, which, of course, is also influenced by Apocalypse World, which, isn't there a new edition of Apocalypse World? Didn't I just share a news piece? I want to say it's crowdfunding, but I don't think it's from Jason. Isn't it Jason Morningstar? Didn't he create it? I don't know. Maybe I'm cracking up. I don't know, right? Because I only talk about like one game. Kevin R. Smith points out that this game was supposedly designed with convention play in mind. Tessie Treggy says, if you have 2 dice or more and roll boxcars, you get a critical success. There you go. Thank you. So you've got aggressive, smart, empathic, and stealthy. And then we've got our skills. Analyze, athletics, close combat, coding, influence, piloting, range combat, rigging, sciences, streetwise, and attune. It's where you'd put your augmentations. We've got your load gear, and it looks like you would just kind of mark off like a little check mark in these. So a blade or two, a sidearm, submachine gun, extra ammo, a couple of grenades, survival kits. So then we have stress. So we have push. Are these the T's? Can't really tell. No, I don't think so. I think that's a different little symbol there. It says overload when you mark your last, whatever that is. An approach of your choosing becomes permanently glitched and immediately incurs a complication, such as you're taken out of action. You expose the team's weakness. You make the team lose an advantage. You damage or overlook something crucial. Well, overloaded, you can't perform actions that would require whatever that symbol is. Almost looks like it's a little F. I don't know. This looks cool. I mean, it's super, super easy. Oh, there you go. Right. W Forge points out Vincent Baker